Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Oniara, and I talk everything self-mastery, personal development, and just everyday life experiences, and how you can take the lessons from those experiences to live a more purposeful, fulfilling, and magical life. Today, I want to come talk about how you can move past the challenges that we experience in our lives, because that is a part of life. Challenges will happen in life, and how you can shift your perspective and see how they are here to teach you something, to bring you something, and how to move from that suffering and not stay in that suffering state for long periods of time. So what I mean when I say challenges, I mean like the things that you might think of as problems or failures in your life, or obstacles or setbacks in your journey that we experience, because they are a part of life. And we as humans, we have this whole idea that we're not supposed to experience problems, or that the perfect human doesn't experience problems. Or what ends up happening is that we get caught up in these states of suffering, because yes, pain is inevitable in life, but suffering is a choice. And so we have to deliberately make the choice to move past suffering and see and appreciate even the challenges in our lives. And so in this video, I'm going to teach you how you can use some specific questions, or reflection journal prompts, or whatever works for you, that this might work for you, in whether that's like sitting at home and asking yourself, sitting in front of the mirror and doing that, journaling about it, writing about it, so that you can shift your perspective from a very challenging situation and seeing it to how this is a stepping stone to your success, how this is a stepping stone into where you're going. And I know that when we experience challenges in our lives or problems, even when we make mistakes, so how can you move from there so that you don't stay there long and suffering in that state, is start shifting your perspective on how everything is happening for you. And I know that at the beginning we know this, and we've heard this already, and I know it sounds like the cliche thing that we always see on Instagram, but it's the truth. You have to start programming your mind to start finding how things are happening for you, because when you start programming your mind for this, your mind starts looking for why things are happening for you, right? And how can I find appreciation for this moment in my life? How can I appreciate this moment in my life? And you'll start noticing how your mind will start looking for appreciation for the moment, even through the challenge. And at first, this can be challenging while we're going through those moments. That's what I'm saying. Like, give yourself grace and compassion and patience. Don't expect yourself to just get this, right? It's going to be a practice. And also, what I'm going to remind you is not to be expecting for the fearful feelings or the pain to disappear, but really to remember that the goal is just more to be quicker and to get faster are getting yourself out of that painful state, out of that suffering state. Because again, pain in life is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. It's like we choose to suffer because we don't choose to take responsibility for how we're choosing to feel, okay, about the situation. Everything that's happening in our lives is happening for us, whether we can accept that in the moment or not. It really is happening for us. It's leading us into a bigger part of ourselves, into more. It's leading us into more of our potential, right? It's leading us into an extraordinary life that we cannot even imagine. And sometimes, because it doesn't happen the way that we believe it's supposed to happen, we look at it as a failure. We look at it as a setback. We look at it as an object on our way. And really is when we start again reprogramming our mind to start looking at, why is this happening for me? What is it that I'm supposed to learn while this is coming up in my journey? How can I appreciate this moment, right? And I'll share with you a personal challenge for me this week. I've been doing a lot. I have many things that I'm currently working on, and I'm also taking classes because I love learning. I love staying up to date with new stuff. And so I'm taking this business taxation class. It's my first day. I have to really be paying attention during this class because we're reviewing like laws. And so I'm doing this, and 15 minutes into the class, my dog gets a seizure. And every time this happens, it really ungrounds me. So I like couldn't pay attention to the computer. And so since I've been learning to reprogram my mind, like how can I appreciate this moment? I'm like hugging her while she's going through it, and I'm like praying, and my mind is asking, how can I appreciate this moment? What is this moment trying to teach me? What is this moment trying to show me? Why am I supposed to learn that? What am I supposed to learn in this moment? And I noticed how my mind was just looking for all the reasons, all the whys, all the things, like what is it? And it was looking for it to feel in a different way. And every time we go through one of these, it really throws me off. It's really like I feel unsafe and ungrounded for days after, and specifically the night of and the day after the thing happens, right? So the episode. So I noticed that this time my mind was automatically looking like, how can I appreciate this moment? How can I appreciate this moment? What is it trying to teach me? What is it trying to remind me of? Right? What is it? What am I supposed to learn through this? And as I was looking for that, I noticed that though in that moment of the seizure, I was very ungrounded, very like my entire body was shaking. I'm trying to breathe and concentrate on like breathing and being here and calm for her. And it is very hard to move through that moment. I noticed that the night of and the day after, I wasn't as ungrounded as I used to be, because it's like I was able to move through it with more appreciation, more trust, more groundedness, and more acceptance. Because I feel like before I had this whole resistance to like the challenge, because it is very challenging, and I just wanted to like it to be over. And I'm not gonna lie, I still wanted it to just be over, right? But I was able to handle it in a more grounded way. And I know that comes with practice. That comes because I have, every time a challenge comes up, continue to tell my mind, hey, how can we look at this in a better way? And maybe at the beginning, I don't look at it like that. And then I continue to ask myself those questions until I find a way to look at it better. What I love to do also is bring it up to those close to me, my friends, the people that I trust with this stuff, and the people that I know have the awareness and consciousness to look at this, and wait for them to give me the reflection and their perspective on it, because that really helps me. I notice that looking at others' perspective and listening to someone else's perspective really helps me shape my perspective. And that helps me move from that suffering state and make that period of time way shorter in my life. So just to conclude, the way for you to move past challenge and see it in your life as a stepping stone, and see it in your life as something that it's here to teach you something so that you can continue moving forward into more of your success, into more of your potential. How do you move to look at your challenge or your failure from failure to feedback is with reflection, is with reflecting on and reprogramming your mind with those questions, asking yourself, why is this happening for me? Why is this happening for me? What am I supposed to learn? What is this here to teach me? How can I appreciate this moment in my life? And start asking yourself those questions every time challenge arises. Not just the big challenges, but even when you maybe get into an argument with your partner, or a challenge comes up in your relationship, or at work, something comes up with your boss. Really, right there in those moments, just taking a deep breath, choosing the light is the spiritual work. So taking a deep breath, choosing that is the work, and it's not always going to come right away. And so choosing to take the deep breath and ask yourself, why is this happening for me? What am I supposed to learn through this? What is this here to teach me? What is this here to remind me? And so also surround yourself with people that constantly remind you and can constantly reflect back to you different perspectives, so that you can create a different perspective to your situation. Because perspective is everything. Perspective is everything. So the way that you handle your challenges really depends on your perspective. So working on your perspective, asking yourself those questions when challenge arises, will be reprogramming your perspective every time. And so every time challenge arises, because you've been reprogramming yourself, at some point it will become second nature for your mind to just be like, why is this happening for me? What can I learn from this? What is this here for me for? How can I appreciate this moment? And your mind would just start asking these questions on and on every time challenge arises, because you've chosen to ask yourself those questions when challenge arises, instead of giving in to the pain and the suffering and the victim mode and just, oh, this is happening for me. I'm suffering. Everybody's going through shit. Everybody has their own things. And it's because we are all here meant to grow through our own journey and teach and share different things, right? And remember, you wouldn't be you without the challenges that you face in your life, because then you wouldn't learn the things that you're learning. You wouldn't be the person that you are, or that you are becoming or going to become, if you don't go through the things that are going to make you that person. So when you're going through challenging times, remember that this is also a part of your journey, that this will also prepare you to grow more into your potential, to grow more into that success. Remember all the challenges that you've been through in your life, and how they've made you stronger, and how they've all taught you valuable lessons to become who you are and what you even bring to this world. If you're wanting extra support or guidance in your journey to shift your perspective, to get your answers to your questions, or just to feel different from where you are in your life, book a call. My link is right down below. Thank you so much for watching today. Leave any comments or questions you might have below, and remember to subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you next time.